Pitch 2 2. Congrats.
Thanks.
Coach, how you doing? Joining us from South Dakota State, head coach Aaron Johnston, student athletes Brooklyn Meyer and Maddie Mathewitz. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach.
Well, I'm really proud of our team. Obviously, you get a chance to play again in the NCAA tournament and make it to the round of 32 is an incredibly difficult thing to do anytime. And we've had a chance to do it a couple of times, and it's great. You know, winning is fun. Winning is fun. I think everybody knows that and agrees with that. But just those moments of celebration, those moments of joy you get to share with people you spend a lot of time with in a locker room or wherever it might be, those are pretty special times. So a chance to play again is great. We're looking forward to it. It's obviously going to be a big challenge against Connecticut, but really happy that our group had that moment to really come together and celebrate something that they worked incredibly hard for today, but for a long period of time. So happy we get a chance to play again.
We'll take questions for the student athletes first. Please wait for the microphone. State your name and affiliation before your first question. We'll start right here in the middle. On the right.
Matt Zimmer, Sioux Falls Live. Brooklyn, you guys are down 7 at half. I think you fell down by 11 at one point. What changed? It seemed like things turned, and then you kind of dominated the rest of the way.
Yeah, I feel like we just had to dig in on defense and keep rebounding, and then on offense, I just feel like we had to, move a little better without the ball and just play better together. And once it got a little smoother, I feel like that's when things really started to work for us.
We'll go to Brad in the back corner, right?
It's Brad from W. Swish. Can you speak to the team's composure on the floor in those final 2 minutes when the game was going back and forth? Oklahoma had 2 or 3 good shots, then you guys came back. Can you just speak to how you guys held that composure?
Yeah, I mean, we work on, situations like that in practice, and I feel like we have, some veteran players and we have some younger ones too, and so I feel like just staying together and making sure we're all on the same page is just really good for us in moments like that.
Question right here, second row in the middle.
Deshaun from MV Online. This question is for Madison. In the second half, you were being extra aggressive attacking the basket. Can you talk about what you were seeing from the defense that allowed you to penetrate the basket the way you were doing?
Yeah, I thought in the first half, we talked at halftime, we maybe weren't being as aggressive and confident as we know we can be. And in that second half, I think things started to open up a little bit that allowed us to be more aggressive. And we just stayed confident and did what we know how to do best. And that allowed us to get to the hoop and score in ways that we knew we needed to.
Over here on the left.
Eden Lassie, Hoops HQ, Brooklyn. What was the post battle like? Because at the beginning it seemed like you kind of struggled a little bit. You were getting pushed around, and then you sort of doubled down and just really dominated for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it was physical in there. They have some really good posts, and I just feel like, it was really physical and just, trying to read the defense and make the right moves.
We'll go to Azar on the left here.
Yes, Azar Johnson from MV Media. For both of you two, just from a player's perspective, you guys come in as the number 10 seed. You may not care, clearly, it doesn't matter. But do you, from the inside looking out, do you feel like you're playing with house money? Because maybe, OSU is a little bit more recognized, they get a little bit more airtime. They're supposed to come in and win a game like this, whereas you guys came in and you buckled down in the second half and you showed them why you belong in this tournament. Do you think that did you feel like you were playing with house money when you were playing this game today?
I think that coming into the tournament, we just knew that we were excited to get this opportunity and to play in these games, and we just wanted to come in and show what we are capable of as a team and to represent our university well, and today I thought we did that.
Register. Madison, in that third quarter, could you kind of feel the momentum shifting and maybe feel that they were kind of giving it away and you guys were taking it?
Yeah, I think, through that whole game it was a battle and they could make shots at any time. So I don't know that I ever felt, we really had it, but I do think that our confidence was on the rise and we were playing our basketball and we knew we could win it at that point.
We'll go to Jim in the front row.
Associated Press, as soon as you guys won, you run over to the other side of the court, celebrate with your fans. Just talk about the importance of that. There are a lot of them there. They're pretty loud. Just your thoughts of what they meant to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, Jackrabbit Nation travels well, and it's awesome to have all our families and our fans there, and just to hear them cheer us on. I mean, we're a long ways from home, but it's just really special to have all those people there for us.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Stay in the front row, Anthony.
Anthony Price, CT Hoops Magazine. Can you tell me a little bit about the celebration in the locker room? I walked by and you guys were really celebrating. You were ecstatic about it. Can you talk a little bit about the celebration and what it means to make it this far with this group of girls?
Yeah, I think, we just love each other so much and have just such a tight-knit group, and we wanted to come into this tournament and win a game, win a few games. That's our goal. And Coach came in, kind of surprised us a little bit. We didn't think he was excited, and then we were really excited, and we're just happy to be here.
Any other questions for the student athletes? We'll go right here on the left.
Madison, I know you answered this before a little bit, but in the first half you had no points. As a shooter, as a guard, like, what's your mindset going to the set? Do you continue to shoot? Does coach say something to you at halftime to say, don't worry about that, just keep doing what you're doing, or is it a little bit of both? You could just elaborate.
Yeah, I think in the first half, a lot of our teammates were making really big plays, and Paige, Timmer, Brooklyn, everybody was making shots. And in the first half, it wasn't my time, but in the second half, opportunities came and just took advantage of them. And coach and our whole staff just is always supportive of us throughout games, trying to tell us to play our game.
Go back to Anthony in the front row.
Your offense has a lot of movement, and I saw a lot of picks being set and a lot of movements. It looked like it was causing some problems for Oklahoma State University. You either can shoot the jumper or you can pass it down low. Can you just talk a little bit about your offense and the movement that you guys have in it?
Yeah, I mean, we try to share the ball really well, and I feel like we're playing our best when we share the ball. And, I just feel like we have a lot of assets on the offensive side. And, just shooting when you're open and passing when you're not.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Maddie, Brooklyn, thanks for your time. Congrats.
Thank you.
We'll take questions for Coach. We'll start right here, second row on the left.
Eden Lassie, Hoops HQ. Someone mentioned that you guys went down by 11 at one point. Is this a team that you have to, it's an experienced team. Do you have to say anything to them when you guys get in a hole like that, or is it kind of a player-led team? And if you did, what did you say?
Yeah, no, I don't ever feel like there's some big speech or timeout or big halftime talk that has to flip the switch with the group. I think everybody watching would say at times we didn't play well, but we were really composed. I didn't feel like there was ever a time where we looked rattled and just got out of our comfort zone. I think composure has been something we've had all year. We've been in actually a lot of close games. I know our record might indicate differently, but we've had to win a lot of close games. You mentioned it too. We've had a lot of players that have been in this experience before, which is helpful, I think. I think for us, it's just trying to figure out what we feel like is going to work. We had some things in the first half we didn't do well. Some of that's we got to play a little bit better, but some of that's we got to find some better actions and better options to put ourselves in a better spot too. So I think we just are a team that always hangs in there, keeps plugging, and tries to figure out what we can get to that's going to be a little bit more effective.
We'll go third row on the right.
AJ, you guys have had a lot of strong third quarters this season. What do you think today happened in the third quarter where you guys were able to take the lead?
Like I just said, I think in the first half we were probably playing in the outer thirds a lot offensively, and that just wasn't super productive. You mentioned Maddie getting going in the second half. Part of it was got more in the middle of the floor with different ball screen actions with some different people. So we really played, I think, out of the middle third a lot more in the second half, and that created a little bit better spacing and some more options. The first half, they always had two people in the lane, and Brooklyn didn't have space. In the second half, she had more space just because I thought we played in that middle third and just spread them out a little bit more. So I think some of her shots and some of her options were better in the second half. But really, I think the team's mindset in the second half was really good too. In the first half, we were pretty passive, hoping Paige, hoping Brooklyn were going to make a lot of plays. Everybody else kind of maybe watching. In the second half, I thought we had a group of young women that all played a lot more assertively, and that helped us too.
We'll stay in the third row on the right-hand side.
Travis from Keller TV. Coach, when you saw Brooklyn go out and do what she did in the latter stages of the game after Magass had 8 blocks early on, I mean, how does that speak to her as a player with what she stayed after it and accomplished late in the game?
Yeah, Brooklyn's really determined, really talented. That first half is not a good indicator of Brooklyn. Those that have watched her or followed her, she's one of the best post players in the country. She really is. She's had big games all year, so it's no surprise to us or to Jackrabbit fans. She is capable of really playing well, and everybody saw that in the second half. I think for her, it's just trying to find the right space where she can feel comfortable and kind of use both sides of the lane rather than being stuck on one side. And as she felt comfortable, boy, she was a handful down there for sure.
Questions for Coach? We'll stay right here, third row, middle.
Excuse me. Erin Madison really got going there in the third quarter, and it seemed like she sort of maybe took things in her own hands a little bit almost, and then it seemed to me like you could visibly see the confidence growing, Brooklyn going in the middle, Paige taking some of her mid-range. Did you sense that? Could you feel the players kind of gaining their confidence there and that turning the tide of the game a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. Maddie's play was so important for us, for sure. Her getting going offensively just took pressure off of a few of our other players, I thought. Maybe that sense that, hey, it's not going well, we've been down, I got to press, I got to do more, and just that other breath of offense was huge for us. And then it did. It opened the doors to so many good plays. I thought we really played well. We took better care of the ball in the second half. I think we had maybe 4 turnovers or something. My math might be off 5. A couple of them probably situational things that I've got to do better. I think we only had 2 or 3 turnovers in the second half outside of the end. First half, I think we had 11, if I remember right, or something that wasn't great. And so trying to find the right actions, I think, but then also, as you mentioned, Maddie coming out and playing really well and being more assertive helped out a bunch. Paige played really well. She's just such a talented player, played every minute of the game. Mace gave us great minutes. I know she only had 4 points, but she had 12 rebounds, defended really well. Early in that game when they were getting up and down in transition, that's a tough matchup for Mace out there against a guard, but the second half she was really good out there defensively too. So, Maddie's plays were obvious and really important, but there were a lot of really important plays that second half.
Over here on the left.
Hey, Coach. They say numbers don't lie. In the first half, you were shooting. I don't know. The second period, you're only shooting 18%. On a scale of 1 to 10, how worried were you about that going into the second half?
Well, whatever worry level I have, it stays pretty much the same. I probably was equally as worried when we were up 8 or 9 in the second half. I probably don't get too up or down. Here's what I felt like offensively. I felt like we were really settling. I think we were really standing around watching Paige, watching Brooklyn. I felt like we had to try and get more movement, more action, more people touching the ball. I don't know that our plan early was good enough, and we got to be better with that, and we needed to find something different. But again, I think our players really adjusted well, and they did a good job. And the hard part with not scoring against them is, like I said earlier, it just opens up transition for them. So in the second half, part of us being better offensively also helped us out immensely defensively too, I think. So.
Stay on the left here, Coach.
Yeah, you mentioned that your defense was, better in the second half. It felt like in the first half, even in their half-court offense, they were getting pretty much whatever looks they wanted, whether or not they were making them. What kind of adjustments did you guys make in the second half to sort of limit their shot attempts a little bit?
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think that second quarter, in some ways, these games, things have to go your way a little bit. They make a few more threes. Now it's a bigger hole, and it's a tougher task for us. So probably fortunate they missed some. I don't disagree with that. Just trying to switch up what we were doing ball screens. I thought we were better in the second half with ball screens. We were not great with it early in the game. Got a little better, and then I think in the second half we were better with our ball screen coverage. And certainly they're going to get some threes. They're all really good shooters and very capable, but a lot more mid-range jumpers I thought in the second half, a lot more contested shots, and we did a better job there.
We'll go third row middle.
You guys really controlled the glass. I think at one point they didn't have an offensive rebound. Just what did you think you guys did to do that to a team where they got a 6'6" center?
I think they do rebound really well. They don't get enough credit for that. They're a very good offensive rebounding team, and their perimeter players are great rebounders. They're the ones that usually make the difference for them. I thought our guards blocked out really well. Again, you see Mesa just as that's right. I just don't know that she'll ever get probably as much credit as she deserves, but she had 12 rebounds, 10 of them defensive. Our point guard, Paige Meyer, had 8 rebounds, 5 of them defensive. So we just had a real mindset that was going to be a big part of the game, and I think it was. I think how we rebounded was a big part of the game.
Go to the back corner, right corner.
Yes. Hi, Coach. Brad from W Swish. Can you speak to the bonding and the chemistry of the team that they've been doing since the selection show, and how you feel that they have just completely gelled?
Yeah, no, I think this group they've been incredibly close all year long. You know, Callie's a 6-year senior. She's been around. She understands what this is all about, played in a lot of postseason games. Mesa and Maddie Vlasen are 5th-year seniors. They've been here a long time. Paige Meyer's in her 4th year. So you have a ton of experience there. Our junior class has played in a lot of big, meaningful games. And they just have a good understanding of what makes us a good team. And some of it's basketball stuff and out on the court stuff, but a lot of it's just chemistry and how we play together and the joy that they play with. And so as a coach, you just appreciate that. These are moments that are hard, they're stressful, they're tough. Someone's going to win, someone's going to lose, but you just have moments that stay with you for a long time. And we've been really lucky over the years. We've had a lot of good moments, and I would imagine tonight will be another one for those players.
Any other questions for Coach? Last question right here in the front.
So, Coach, as you prepare to play UConn, is it more being concerned about what you do, or is there more of a concern about what UConn does?
Yeah, everything. I mean, you watch that game today, and they're pretty good. Yeah, we're just going to have to play well. You just are. You can't give them easy ones. They had a lot of easy ones today. For whatever reason, they just did. You can't give up that many easy buckets to them. We have to make them work for things. They're certainly going to make us work for things. We've played, I don't know, I'm going to say teams like, but I'm playing a team like Texas. We played South Carolina recently in the last couple of years. We've played teams certainly at that level. And it's hard. It is really hard because of how good they are offensively and defensively. But there's no place I'd rather be on Monday either. That's why we do this. That's why we put so much into this, to have those challenges. And I know our players are going to feel the exact same way. So we're going to take that challenge on, and we're going to play our best basketball, and we're looking forward to it.
Coach, thanks for your time. Congrats on the win. Absolutely. You good? Yeah, man. Thank you, brother. Absolutely. Joining us from Oklahoma State, head coach J.C. Hoyt, student athletes Staley Hurd and Tenon Magassa. Coach, we'll let you begin with an opening statement.
These types of games are always really hard to have the right words and be able to put all your thoughts together. But this has been the most amazing season of my life, and it's a testament to the character of every single person in our program. And while I absolutely hate the way that things ended today, I'm so proud. I'm proud of every single person. I'm proud of what we've built. The toughness, the love, the joy, it's uncommon, and that's what we set out to be this season, was uncommon, on the floor, off the floor, and quite frankly, no one picked us to be here. It was a team that was picked 11th and finished 3rd in the Big 12, and no one saw us being in the tournament. No one saw us doing all the things that we did, and while I'm really proud of that, and it was amazing, it's just the journey that I'm most proud of and thankful for. I'm incredibly grateful for just an amazing group of young women who I'm going to talk about to Harlow for the rest of her life, and we'll be able to look back together, and I'll be able to tell her about the season. And I'm grateful for a team that made everything so enjoyable for me, and I'm really excited about what the future's going to look like underneath the leadership that we have in the locker room and the culture that we have right now.
Let's take questions for the student athletes first. We'll go to Anthony in the front row.
So there was a rebounding disparity. They had 47 rebounds and you guys had 29. Can you talk a little bit about what was the difference between them being able to get so many rebounds this afternoon?
At one point, we had no offensive rebounds. I think that speaks for itself. I just don't think we're as aggressive as we should have been to go get boards. And we knew, like, all along, all this season, that's all we talk about is winning the rebound war. When we do that, we win. I mean, we can't give them a second chance opportunities on their offensive end. And we gave way too many of those up. I feel like that's just what made the difference in the game.
Stay in the first row.
Raven Ray, KOTB Tulsa, 10, and it feels like this was one of your best defensive games of your career. What was so hard about guarding Brooklyn Meyer in this game?
Well, she's a good post player. It wasn't easy, but tall enough to be able to disrupt her shot. It was a challenge. It wasn't easy, but it was fun doing it and, getting some blocks. Yeah.
I have something to say on that. Listen, Tenon was amazing today. People have no idea how amazing it was because she got hurt earlier last week. Tenon has not had a single practice in the last week and a half. Not one. She didn't get a single rep. Not a single rep. The injury that she had would keep any normal person out for up to 3 months. She came back in a week and a half. That is toughness. That is sisterhood. Their post player is damn good, but I love who we're riding with. I love who we got to be with this season, and I can't say enough about her toughness. I've never seen anything like it. We prepared all week to not have Tenon, and for her to come out and do what she did is absolutely amazing. It's inspiring. I think she took the standard of what toughness looks like for cowgirl basketball to a whole nother level today. So I just had to let that be known.
We'll go to Brad in the back right corner.
Yes, hi ladies, Brad from W Swish. You guys did so well in the Big 12 tournament, then you go to Selection Sunday, now here. Can you speak of the emotions and the joy that you've had this roller coaster ride, and what lessons will you take back?
In my opinion, I don't think it was a roller coaster to us, but to other people it probably was, because they didn't think we would come out and perform as we did this season. But I have never been on a team or played with girls that I've enjoyed playing with so much.
Go back to
This one hurts. This one hurts real bad because of the seniors. I mean, every single one of them. I mean, G and I, we rode through it last year, and then to get Tinanen and Lex, and to ride it out with Riley and Landry and Stacy and all them, I feel like it's just probably the best year I'll probably have in college with the girls I had this year. And I just want to say thank you, Coach, because you brought in amazing girls and leaders for me.
On senior night about what Oklahoma State's meant to you, but officially playing your last game with Oklahoma State, what's kind of going through your head now?
Well, I'm very sad because I left playing with them the whole year. It was my best year of college, and I'm gonna miss all of them so much.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Go to the left side here. Azar.
This question is for Ms. Hurd. With the emotions you're feeling right now, and clearly everything that you've been through this season, what are you going to take away from this when you go into the off season and get ready for next year to become back bigger and better?
I mean, I have a lot to take from the leaders I had. I mean, they set the standard. They set the bar high for us, for me, for next year to take with me, because I still have 2 years. And so I think, just stay in the gym, of course, but, for the girls that are coming to us, just tell them and really emphasize, like, the standard is pretty high, and, like, they have huge shoes to fill. And so Coach said it, our seniors put us back on the radar. I mean, no one thought we would be here. And, I mean, stats speak for itself. I mean, we were picked 11th and finished 3rd, and here we are at the tournament, which no one ever thought we would be. So,
Questions for the student athletes? Staley, Tenen, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
thank you.
We'll take questions for Coach, maybe questions for Harlow, whatever you guys have. Anthony, front row.
Coach Staley talked a little bit about that. She felt like you guys didn't go and get those rebounds. Can you just talk a little bit about that? And was that characteristic of play throughout the year?
Well, first of all, I think South Dakota State's really good at going and rebounding. Their guards specifically. I think that's a little bit unique to a lot of the teams that we've played. And so a lot of it came from guard play, which, our guards needed to be better. But I do think that definitely not to make excuses, but, when you've got a rim protector like Tenen, and then you don't think you're going to have her against the caliber of post player that South Dakota State has, it wasn't as big of an emphasis as it should have been this last week because we were just so concerned with how we were going to guard in the post. And so, it's just a sucky situation. I mean, I could have been better at preparing them. At the same time, I think we were making the most with, what we were going through. But credit to South Dakota State. I mean, they wanted it more, I thought, on certain plays, and definitely not used to that from our team. But I think, South Dakota State, I mean, they're experienced. All those kids, they've been here. Our kids haven't. And that's a part of where we're at as a program right now, just learning, okay, we got to the tournament. What does it take to win in the tournament? I thought they made winning plays today. We didn't make some of those winning plays that we needed to, but at the same time, experience, you can't do anything about it. So I know that in the future, what happened today is going to stick with the kids that we've got. And when we're back here in a year, it's not going to be the same story. But you live and you learn, and it's just a part of how it went today.
Stay in the front row.
Raven, KOTV Tulsa. I just want to also talk about the third quarter surge that South Dakota State had when you guys come out with a 7-point lead, and then there's just a series where, it's just Brooklyn Meyer over and over again. What kind of happened in that timeout in the fourth quarter that you're kind of telling your group that they need to regroup?
Well, it's a game of runs. We talk about it all the time. Sudden change is a term that we use a lot, and that's the name of the game, They went on their run, we went on our run at one point. It's just how it is. And so in that fourth quarter is just, embracing sudden change. They made that run when Tenen was out, and I thought we made the adjustments we needed to, probably a little bit too late. But at the end of the day, I mean, it was what it's been all season long. Hey, regroup, sudden change, got to fix it, figure it out, make the adjustments that are necessary. And, we made the push that we wanted to, but it was just a little bit too late. So,
as you reflect in the locker room with this team, and these seniors in their last game in this jersey, I mean, what have they meant to this program in the history that you guys have been able to break records?
They mean the world. Their names are going to be talked about as long as I'm here. They took it to a level that I've never been a part of in terms of their leadership, from top to bottom. I think a lot of programs talk about family. They talk about sisterhood. It's real. It's palpable here. And for those seniors, that was them. They either chose to stay after a tough year, or a lot of the transfers came here to spend their last year with us. And I've never been a part of a locker room that is hurting so bad after a loss like our team just was, but say the most amazing things just about the year that they had, the sisterhood that exists within our team. And so that's what we're carrying with us. But I'm grateful to them for changing a standard, setting a standard. And now, just like Staley said, it's going to be up to the rest of them to take that and run with it, because we're in a great place, but I think we all want to continue to be, not on the losing end moving forward. And I have no doubt that the ones that we've got still here and the ones that are coming in are going to do everything they can to not just get to the tournament, but win in the tournament.
Questions for Coach? We'll go with Azar on the left here.
Hey, Coach, Azar Johnston from MB Media. You said you guys were picked down at the bottom when it started, and then clearly you exceed those expectations. Is there any particular reason that you think that, I mean, I talked to South Dakota about this. They came in playing with house money. Is there any particular reason why you think, I mean, clearly after this, they're not going to see you as a team that's going to be at the bottom. Do you wonder why they picked you last? I mean, I know you know what you saw in that gym and what you saw during the offseason, why you're here now in the tournament. But is there any particular reason that you think why would they see you down at the bottom?
Well, I think we had a lot of transfers that, well, first of all, last season was very average, right? We don't like average. was very average. And the truth of the matter is, we got a lot of transfers that weren't big names. You know, we had a lot of. You okay? Want to turn around? We had. I might need grandma. Okay, we're good. We're dad. I think we're okay. We had a lot of players that just, you know, weren't big names. Even this year with what we did, we still didn't have a lot of players that were named on the all-conference team like I thought they should have been. But, see, she's pissed about that too. We really took that personal. But no, I think I've got to talk about just the job that our coaches do. Incredible with development. You know, it's what we've been able to do with kids in terms of development and taking kids that were maybe not very high on other people's radars, not the 5 stars, not the All-Americans, but go out and beat the All-Americans. I think that's the Oklahoma State way right now, at least for women's basketball, and probably for about every coach at Oklahoma State. But that's who we are. You know, we're going to outwork you. We're going to compete. We're not going to be afraid to, you know, be the underdog. Our kids were fearless all season long. So I think that people were probably maybe correct to overlook us early. But I think just what a testament to the development of our coaches, that our coaches are able to do. And then just a testament to our kids and their fearlessness and, you know, their love for each other and willingness to compete.
Coach, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Congrats on a great season.
Thank you.